Mark play and come back from 2-0 down
Oh,
against the guy who kept hitting him in the face with his his True Silver champion, which was fun. He loved that face. A little too much.
Why hold board when you could go face?
Yeah,
it's
you
the
just gotta
play,
smork.
some say.
Smork.
Smork.
Week 1 was definitely not. It was a disappointing week for us, Harry Generals. We didn't get
Yeah, what
the
happened
wins,
there?
didn't get the cards. Myself, really.
They played against Archon Storm.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did that 3 times last season. In case you guys have never caught on to that.
Yeah, they have sort of found a way to abuse the PR. I'm not going to be salty about it, but they do have 4 players that have. Oh, actually, it's all right. Clark has not hit legendary, but
yeah, but he is the MVP from Kappa. I mean,
yeah. So he did. So they have 4, super good players. And in my game, I just got the worst draws. Like,
I know the feels. It feels bad, man.
Really well, and then. I mean, like when you're Demon Handlock, when you're Zoolock, and your opening your opening draws are Doomguard, Melganis, Dr. Boom. There's not a lot that you can do in a game, and you're playing an aggro druid, who curves perfectly into 1, into 2, into 4, into 5, into 5. Like, oh yeah, it was over pretty quickly. So I was pretty upset. It's probably the only game that I've lost where I was like, wait a minute, let's play that again. I would totally win.
Can we hit reset? Can we hit the Reno Jackson button?
Run it back.
Can we hit the Reno Jackson button?
Reno Jackson.
But we're optimistic. I'm excited for week 2. I'm back on the stream against Super Sam. So.
All right, so we'll see more from Andy this week.
I've got some things prepared that I'm happy. I'm very excited.
And we're excited to see it. So, Mr. Almes.
Yes.
How about yourself? What went down in week 1 that had you excited that you didn't see coming? Let's hear it.
My week 1 was awesome, despite the fact that I played on Wednesday before the new cards came out because I'm super excited about them.
So excited.
As you should.
Cheers.
So excited about the new cards, but seriously, I played on Wednesday, so I didn't, all the old cards. I knew what was going on. My matchup went almost exactly as I'd planned it, which was awesome to have a game plan and then execute it and have it go well. And it was kind of cool. Mange, the captain of my All-Stars team, right before the season started, we still talk a lot, and he was trying to keep up with my games while I was playing them, and immediately after I got out of them, he invited me to a Skype call, and he got super hyped about the first game of the season, because apparently we were the first game of the entire season inception. And so it was kind of cool. I got to celebrate with my team and the hangouts, and then immediately Team Rank 5 is also trying to hype up the fact that I got a win, so it was a super celebratory moment for the first game of the season going towards my way.
It was a big win too, though. I mean, not a lot of people know who your opponent was. Dear Jason, who has found some level of success with BlizzCon events and getting his name out there.
Indeed.
Did any of that? Were there any mind games associated with that?
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
I actually didn't know. It wasn't until I got into their Skype chat and. The first thing he's shouting is "Welcome to the fucking show," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Yeah, he's a new guy. He's from the BlizzCon." I was like, "Oh, well, that makes me feel cool." So yeah, it went pretty well my way. It was a lot of fun. I played some really dumb decks because I was intending to play on the stream, so I have a ton of really goofy tech cards you guys wouldn't have really expected to see on Salty Saturdays, but we ended up playing early, so I just kept my happiness to myself.
Yeah, well. I was in that hangout as we got the update. It was definitely an exciting moment for all of us. And actually, if I had to talk about my week 1, I have to give a huge shout out to Team Supreme, a group of 5 guys, brand new to the league, not new to Hearthstone. And that's something we often have to keep in mind here. Just because a team's new to the league doesn't mean that they're new to this game. Mm-hmm. And from 1 to 5, they showed up. I don't think we swept anyone or anybody on our side got swept. We had some 3-1s, but everybody put up a fight. And I definitely have to give a shout out to Supreme for coming out strong, making a statement in their first appearance in the THL. And I have been sick over my games all week long. You know what? Sometimes the VODs are a blessing and a curse. Because going back and watching, man, I felt sick to my stomach.
That's painful.
When your opponent's got a 1 in 16 chance of top decking what he needs to win, and you've got lethal showing and lethal in your hand, lethal 2 different ways, and he top decks that 1 card. Feels bad, man.
Happens.
Oh man.
It sure does.
But definitely a great week 1 all the way around the league. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, the standings are posted on the Facebook site. All around, just good times to be had there. But that leads us into week 2, and even though the Gosu Casuals did come on top of the Filthy Casuals, and yes, I worded that exactly how I meant to. Doesn't mean that the name's gone yet. You guys still have to defend. For those who didn't catch on to last week's Tavern Talk, the bet was placed right here on the show. The word casuals will be removed from the team that finishes lower in the standings. Neither team has to win the championship. It's just whoever finishes lower. So one of the 2 teams will be losing the word casuals from their name. Lots of big uphill battle for the Filthy Casuals moving forward. RAB behind the Gosu Casuals. But there's many other interesting matches happening this week in week 2. So thoughts coming up on the upcoming week. Things that you guys want to highlight. Jedi, if you could help me out in chat here. Do we have a Salty Saturday lineup going yet? I heard Andy Rogers say him and Super Sam are going to throw down. What else can we expect? Please hit me up in the chat with that. All right, so let's start. Slimsh, what are you looking forward to in week 2, my guy?
So what I'm basically doing is I'm kind of looking at both my conference and what my interests are there, and also the other conference, of course. What I'm finding really interesting moving into week 2 is the showdown between, I believe it's the double check real quick, the Hairy Generals versus the Angry Chicken Fan Club.
Mm-hmm.
So of course the Angry Chicken Fan Club, the dark horses that Cassidy and both I predicted, they came out looking pretty strong. While the Hairy Generals, they're looking to have a better week. So I'm really interested in that one. I'm also perpetually interested in now how the what's really interesting about this week is that the Filthy Casuals and Synergy are going to face off, and that's going to be really tough for the Filthy Casuals to sneak out some points against. The Synergy happens to be number 1 in the standings right now, and they are just very strong. They were the runner-up last season, so and
that's
on top of that, my former brother in arms, Katoda, is their 1 seed from the All-Star event. So I'm very excited to see how that one will shake out. On the one hand, you want Synergy to do kind of poorly so that maybe they slip down in the standings a little bit to give some opportunity to jump up.
But you like the name Casuals.
Yeah, then the Filthy Casuals are doing well. I can't have that in my world.
Well, I feel like if you lose the bet, you're on the better end of that stick, because then you're the Gosus, which is
we
that's
might have
pretty
to
good.
become the role players.
It's the Gosu role players.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
There's has that officially been added? I didn't want to speak to that. I know that was something still.
It's D Lyman's unofficial thing. It'll probably.
I think Cassie and I are gonna force feed that throughout the season on Tavern Talk, that we want not only casuals to be dropped, but role players to be added in there.
Players.
Come on, how great would the filthy role players be?
Disgusting.
Not half bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So
overall,
Andy,
though, lots of exciting stuff.
Andy, you yourself are part of one of the matchups that Slim Shear just highlighted. What are you looking forward to coming up this week? And as a second part to that, let's do it in 2 pieces. Matches not related to your team, and then how do you see your team coming out this week?
What am I excited? I'm excited to get back on stream because I am undefeated so far. playing on stream. It's been my good luck charm.
Yeah. How'd
And
that THL All Stars go for you on stream?
yeah, I get to beat Mark again.
Oh man.
That's always fun.
Mark, how's
Takes
that
the
feel?
record to 2-1.
Mark, how's that feel?
First of all, it
You're
feels
supposed
bad,
to.
man.
Yeah, there you go. Feels bad, man.
I remember a certain game that led off season Kappa where I was able to win versus the mighty Andy Rogers. Although, to be fair, in the finals
miracle.
of the beta, I went 0-3. So.
Oh yeah, you got smashed. However, it was already over,
It was already decided.
and I was like, but don't let that factor anything. I still was really mad, and I smashed you 3-0.
Andy mad, Andy smash.
Nobody else from my team could grab a win, and I was really upset. In fact, I think we won like 1 round in 3 games, and I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
I had to carry. That was the beta season. I was carrying the team to the championship. Fell just
Listen
short.
to that.
So outside
Hey,
of
the
your
team
play,
was named Team Andy.
That's true.
Andy, outside of your team and in your individual play, is there any matchups that you found to be particularly interesting this week?
I didn't look much at. I always kind of just look at my games mostly. I'm not always super
Tunnel
focused
vision.
on.
Hey,
Yeah,
Eye of the
I'm very
Tiger, champion focus. I'm going to destroy the target in front of me and move on.
Pretty much. I looked at around, the other. It seems to be like more of the bigger 1 seeds are in the other conference.
Yeah.
Like, or at least the higher, the more people who've
So,
been in the league. The more
To
established
translate
ones.
for Andy, if you are a 1 seed in blue conference, Andy said you ain't shit.
Wow. Shots fired.
Today I just lost to Clark. Like, I'm sure.
I see some really scary stuff over there.
No, I'm putting words in his mouth because I like start
there's
trouble.
a lot of really good players. Like, there's a lot of new players that like we haven't seen. I mean, Dear Jason's in our conference. Super
Yeah,
Sam.
you got this guy
is a
Al
guy.
Mace
There's
in
a
your
lot of
conference.
hype up there. So
You got this guy Al
Dear
Mace.
Jason's no longer a 1 slot after playing against me.
Not,
I'm just
he's
going to throw
actually-
that out there.
Oh, he beat him so bad he dropped that.
Rich is excited to get that matchup.
By
He
the way,
plays
guys,
D-lineman, week 1. He plays Dear Jason. Week 3 or 4? I don't know when we play them, but
yeah, D Lyman's always somebody I'm excited to watch, man. He's a fun player to watch. Guys, it looks like Jedi has a couple matches in mind. Check your email to see if he's hit you up about Salty Saturday. Let's get those matches locked in, so I got something to look forward to. So Almace, I guess you're a 1 seed. That doesn't really matter. Just saying.
No, not at all.
I love how I'm totally
Bring it
putting these
on.
words. I love how I'm putting these words in.
I'm
Andy's
not good
mouth.
at this game. I'm not bad at it, but I'm not good at this game.
So what about you, man? What are you looking forward to this week in both your own play / your own team, and then members and teams that aren't yours in this league? Words.
So I'm gonna go 1 step next level, right? I'm not really looking too much at this week or the next. I'm looking at the week after that. We get our 4th match against Archon Storm on week 4 of this league, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully us getting a better record going against them, because right now we're 0-3, and I think we've only won 1 single set of games from them across the 15 matches we've had so far.
Really? I won 1. Is that me?
Okay, so
Is that me?
I remember I was looking at it earlier, and I saw that I only ever won 1, and I could find very few losses.
Oh,
so
you know what?
2-15 against them.
You know
2
what?
and 13.
Byron, it came before you joined us. I'm sorry.
Oh, never mind. All right, so yeah, but gotta call him out a little bit. Verde is no longer their 1 slot, and I don't know how I feel about fighting Archon Storm in the 1 slots if it's not Verde. So he's gonna need to step up his game over the next 2 weeks and get that 1 slot back. Or else
Yeah. There's definitely been
a different game.
with the amount of times we've played them, there's definitely been rivalries formed between the various different seeds. I'm actually excited to be facing somebody a different slot on that team too, because I was really getting tired of Dan whooping my ass.
That's fair.
The
other side of it is I played so early last week. I get to play with new cards now. So like I have like 15 to 20 new cards I get to play with, and I get to play with Discover against my opponents. And you all should really start drinking, because it's my first.
Yeah.
Step out, go.
Yeah, everybody just start a waterfall.
Yeah, it's rough, man. I'm so hyped. So hyped.
Yeah. So outside of this this lovely group of beautiful